the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on.
Welcome to an episode of the Auto Disruptor Show. I'm your host, Josh Mitchell, and welcome. I get in this argument a lot with a lot of people, and I don't hold back. I don't know if, some people know me. Sometimes I hold back a little bit. Sometimes I just I'm like a pit bull. My wife says I'm like a pit bull from every once in a while. She's kind of the one that kind of, she's a small dog that just kind of is like, yip, just thinking that she's bigger than everybody else. And then I'm the big guy who sits back and relax. And, but eventually I have a big bite. So it's just a fun thing about me, guys. But welcome to the show. This is one of those things that I am extremely passionate about. And I want to start it out like this. Bulls get fed and pigs get slaughtered. It's a nice little term that I've said a few times, and I know I don't know if it's a Wall Street term. I can't remember where it came from, but it's a great term. I love it. Bulls get fed and pigs get slaughtered. So I get asked this question, and I got in an argument not too long ago about this. And when you run a business development center, I've been in the sales management side of things. Obviously, ran BDCs, internet departments, but when you have a BDC or an internet department, I don't care. But they always ask the question, well, who gets the lead? And they talk about fairness. And they want everyone to have a shot, and like this is all this great, I'm not going to get political. That this just is roses, and it's just there's butterflies, and everything's just so fair, and yada fucking yada. It drives me insane because I will tell you this: it isn't fair. Life isn't fair by any stretch of the imagination, and who is getting your precious leads? You spend thousands, some of us hundreds of thousands of dollars to get consumers to put in their information, to then create the online inquiry, to then give us the ability to reach out. Those are precious. And so it's not fair. The best of the best the bulls will always get fed, and the pigs will always get slaughtered. And so it isn't fair. So if you're looking at your dealership and you're like, well, I want it to be fair across the board, you're kidding yourself. It's not going to be fair across the board. Should everyone get their fair shake? Yes, by all stretch of the imagination. You should definitely give people the ability and the know-how to do it. But it comes with training. If you throw leads to untrained salespeople, I don't know what you're doing. It's like giving them a fresh up and they don't even know the meet and greet. And it happens a lot inside of dealerships across the country. I'd probably say the world, is that we have untrained, unskilled people taking our clients from the front door, saying hello, and we're all the way to answering internet leads, to answering phone calls, and then we wonder why they get frustrated, or they don't want to, or they're not getting anything out of it, and we wonder why. Well, here's one step that I will tell you that will fix everything. Fucking train them. That's the step number one, is train them how to handle the first thing. Train them how to at least say hello the proper way and greet a customer at the door. I mean, that's step number one. Let's get that out of the way. You can talk about doing product training and we go through objection training more and more on how to go through all that, and we don't even do the proper steps of the meet and greet. We don't master that part, and then we start going about talking about objections. Who gives a fuck about the objections right at this moment? Let's get them to the point where they can meet a customer at the door. Let's get it to where they can land the customer on the right car. Let's make sure they butterfly the car. Let's make sure they know a little bit about the car at least. And then we move them down the line. Okay. But here's the thing. If we're not going to give that type of attention, if we're not going to train people that intensely about our process that we've put in place, maybe you spent a bunch of money to get this process. Maybe you developed it. Maybe it's the A-Flow process. If you've gotten involved in that, I don't care what kind of process that you've written down, the 8 steps to the sale. I don't really care if it's 5 steps to the sale. I really don't care. But if you're not going through that, why would we even talk about who gets leads and who doesn't get leads? Because in my opinion, the people who are the best of the best are the ones who get the opportunities to be able to answer phone ups and internet leads. The best of the best. The people who can handle. Like, let me tell you guys, I know nobody wants to say this, but an internet salesperson is way different than a floor salesperson. There are floor people that don't want leads, and you're forcing leads down their throat. And you're thinking, why wouldn't they want it? Well, maybe their personality doesn't come across. Maybe you haven't trained them on how to answer leads and how to chase. Because let me tell you, it's a chase sometimes with internet leads. It is a chase that is a long-term follow-up. Unless you kill them in 7 days like some of you do. It is a long-term process. And some of these people don't have the attention span to be able to handle it. So why are we wasting our time giving these people leads? And I'm going to use the word leads just for lack of, I don't want to use a different word, but we're giving them leads and they don't even have the capabilities, or they don't even want to have the capability to answer and do this type of process. And then you have this argument with me about how it should be fair. It shouldn't be fair. The people who want it, the people who want to get after it, the people who want to go after it, they get fed. Period. And I know that sounds brutal sometimes to some people, but that's the reality. If you want to sit back and go, woe is me, and I don't get internet leads, or he gets more internet leads, or she gets more internet leads, she gets the good ones, and I get the bad credit ones. And I've looked through all of this. I've heard every fucking excuse, complaint. Believe me. I've heard it all. And I know how to look through a CRM better than most people. And I can tell you, it's the ones that complain the most that say, I'm not getting any leads. And I go in the CRM and they've gotten 87 leads versus everybody else's 40. And they're complaining because so-and-so is getting better leads. It's the luck of the draw, bro. It's the luck of the draw. And who are you deciding and how are you deciding who's getting good leads when you're getting bad leads? Who are you to say what is a good lead and what's a bad lead? Just because you have had some experience or whatever you want to say, that you're all of a sudden an expert on good and bad leads. So here's the thing. I'm going to lay it down finally with this. It's not fair. The people who want it are going to go get it. And if you don't want it or you don't have the drive, I'm sorry, you're going to get slaughtered. Bulls get fed, pigs get slaughtered. The end. There is no fairness. Quit. Really want it to be fair. Quit. Because at the end, you're the one that's going to suffer. It's that simple. Your dealership's the one that's going to suffer if you think everything should be fair. Because guess what? It's not fair. So let the bulls get fed. Let the pigs get slaughtered. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex on.